Howdy everybody, this is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com, and this video is going to be about Chapter 7 of the Dimensional Battle Story Mode. A lot of people are running into problems on Chapter 7, specifically on the last one, 7-5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to beat Chapter 7 using only, number one, free-to-play heroes, and also they're all rare. I don't have any epic heroes going and doing this one. So you see I've got Maria, I've got Toma, and then I'm going to go with Rand. And you see I'm putting all my best gear on these heroes. If you don't have level 40 gear, it's fine. Level 30, you see here that my fourth hero, Hakan, has all Conqueror gear. And then I've got Freydis here. So those are the 5 heroes that I'm going with. And that way I can swap between them. So I was just showing you, I've got them all runed for Dimensional Battle. No upgrades on the runes. And then I've got them all with my best gear possible. So 7-1, the very beginning of it. See, it's got 32 infantry, and it's got 4 frost dragons. And you need to look at what you're going up against, and you also need to look at the heroes you're going against. So you see there's Freydis, Tertio, and Emilio. And because of all of those infantry and those frost dragons right there, I'm going to go with Maria to heal, Rand for the shield, Freydis for the AoE, because I'm going to really want that AoE against all those infantry folks. And then I'm going to pop Hakan in there so I can summon frost dragons out. And summoning heroes are really good for chapter mode because you can summon in order to get back up above star points. So, you might be losing, you might be down below the 3-star mark, and then you summon some stuff and it takes you back up above the 3-star mark. So for 7-1, I'm going to go with a couple ogres to tank, and then I'm going to go with a couple siege to blow up all those infantry, and then 2 frost dragons. And those frost dragons are going to be there to kill their frost dragons. But the siege are going to obliterate those infantry, and my ogres are just there to stand still and tank everything, while my siege and my Freydis blow them up. I'm going to put the frost dragons over to the left because I don't want them getting targeted by their frost dragons. And you see, here we go. Now everything is going to get right stacked up in the middle, so I'm going to meteor shower all of those infantry down. And you see how it killed basically all of them. Then I cast a heal on my clump of folks. And you see how I've got infantry back in the back killing my siege, and I'm just going to let that happen. But my frost dragons aren't being targeted, and that's why I put them over to the left. That way they don't get taken down, because I'm interested in getting 3 stars on these ones. That way I can auto-complete for the materials later on. And so that's what I'm doing here. That's why I'm healing and shielding and everything else like that rapidly in order to do that. So your frost dragons are still just going to sit there pounding away, and then all 4 of these are stacked up right here. So now I'm just going to wait until I have the mana for Meteor Shower, and once I have the mana for Meteor Shower, I'm going to drop Meteor Shower on all 4 of those, and it's going to kill all of them. And so that's something you need to look at, specifically in Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9. Once it gets a little bit more difficult, you want to look at your troop positioning and make sure that the bad guys aren't targeting the stuff that you don't want them to target. So I put my frosts over to the left, that way they wouldn't get targeted. And I want everything hitting my ogres, basically. My ogres and my heroes. That way I can use a heal, and it does a whole lot of healing, or I can use a shield if necessary. So now let's look at 7-2, and you see how there's 10 archers and there's 10 cav. They got John, Valencia, and Gloria as their heroes. So with all those troops right there, I know that AoE is going to be a big deal. I want to make sure that I'm AoEing, and I also know that the archers are going to stand further away and just sentry from the back. So I put Toma in here this time, and I'm running with Freydis, Rand, Maria, and Toma because I know that I'm going to be using ogres, and my ogres are going to be tanking again. But now I'm going to put in 4 siege. And the reason I'm putting 4 siege in here is because they're all little ground units. Siege blow those up as soon as they start standing still. So watch the damage that my siege can do on this, and then also Freydis is going to be ridiculous with Meteor Shower. So all the calves start coming in, and I'm watching here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop a shield over everything once everything gets all stacked up. That way I'm not taking all that damage from those archers. While that's happening, I cast a Meteor Shower with Freydis to take out the majority of those archers. That way my siege are blowing up all the cav in here, and my Freydis' Meteor Shower takes all those out. But you see how much damage I'm taking from all that stuff, so I'm going to heal it up. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to pop a shield to stop the damage momentarily, staying above the 3-star mark. Now after the shield's there, I'm going to go ahead and heal back up, and it's hit me well above the 3-star mark. And this whole time, my siege are just blowing them up. So you see they summon more archers there, and the siege are just going to, this is all clumped up, so the siege are just going to obliterate this as this is going in, and it's pretty much over. I go ahead and pop a Meteor Shower on those 4 archers that got summoned just to shorten the battle. But using positioning like that, you get everything clumped up, and then your siege are just going to blow them up, and you can Meteor Shower Freydis as well. And you see how Freydis and siege did so much damage there. It's because of that. So let's go look at 7-3 now. And 7-3 has 3 siege and 12 cav. It's also got Solace, who summons siege, and Valencia can summon cav. So because of that now, I know I'm going in against 3 siege, which are going to sit in the back all by their lonesome, and they're going to blow up my clump of things. And then all these cav are going to be coming, and they're going to be clustering up on my group of heroes here. So I'm going to run with Maria and Rand, like always, because I want those heals so I can stay in 3 stars. And then I'm going to actually put Hakan in this time. And the reason that I put Hakan in is because you see here, I'm going to run with 2 ogres, move that one out, and then I'm going to spam a bunch of frosts, because none of their stuff hits air. They've got cav and they got siege. None of it hits air. So my frosts are just going to sit in the back, completely invulnerable. They're not going to be hit by anything. These ogres are here purely to tank. So see how everything's going to stack up on the ogres. As soon as everything stacks up, I get the shield up. That way I don't get blown up by those siege. And my frost dragons just start going to town. Now I'm going to meteor shower on everything right here because it's all clumped up. Try to take out all those cav. But you see how much damage these siege are doing to my folks. And that's the problem with going up against siege, is that it's really hard to force your units to target against them. So you got to kind of use shields and heals to get through all that damage that they're doing from the back. And then once you get this clump down, now your folks are going to run in and they're just going to obliterate them after that happens. But this whole time, see how my frost dragons have been untouched and they're just sitting there killing everything? And while their siege are doing the same thing. But now I'm below the 3-star mark, so I summon 2 more frost dragons. That way I can get back above it, or close to it, hopefully. And you see how low my heroes are now, because they're just standing still getting shot by siege. I pop a shield right in the middle, because I know that's where my heroes are about to run through. And I want to get as much value for this heal as I can. So I pop the heal on both Maria and Freydis, bring them all the way back up to full. My Hakan dies. My Rand is about to die. So what I'm doing at this point is I'm hoping I can survive. I can not kill these things for long enough to bring one of my heroes back. I bring Hakan back because he's my summoner, and this is what I was talking about a second ago. The reason I brought Hakan back right there instead of casting a heal is so I could summon out more frost dragons and take myself back up above that 3-star mark. And so you saw how far down I was on the 2 stars, but bringing those frost dragons back in, or summoning more frost dragons, allowed me to cast that heal on my heroes that were hurt and bring it back up above the 3 stars. So that's why I usually run with the summoner hero whenever I'm doing chapter battles, because I want to be able to summon and bring myself back up. Now this one is 7-4. It's got a dragon and it's got 4 frost dragons. It's also got Hakan and Lauren, who can both summon as well. So this is going to be all air units hitting me. And just because it's all air doesn't mean that I don't want to run with ogres. A lot of people think that they see all air, they need to use all air as well. That's not the case. Rand can hit air. I want Maria obviously to heal. I'm obviously going to go with Hakan so I can summon out more frost dragons. He's also got a passive that increases frost dragon stats. And then I'm going to go with Freydis. The reason I'm going with Freydis is so I can cast that meteor shower. Now you saw there I went with 2 ogres, even though I'm only facing air stuff and some heroes. The reason I went with 2 ogres is so those ogres can tank all the hits for me. I don't want all the hits from these air units going on other things. Ogres have a lot of HP. I put my 4 frost dragons over to the left because I didn't want their dragon targeting my frost dragons and blowing them up. I wanted their dragon targeting an ogre. You see, he's not. He's targeting Rand, but it is what it is. So I cast a shield there in order to tank a lot of this damage, and I always want to be shielded here. That way I can get through all their heroes pretty quickly without taking too much damage. So now I use a healing blessing right in the middle because I know my heroes are about to run through it to get over to Hakan. Hakan, meanwhile, is summoning frost dragons in the back. And one thing, when you're facing a computer version of Hakan, he's always going to summon frost dragons way back in that back corner, which means it's a really good spot to cast your meteor shower and do damage to all of them. Now, if I were getting close to losing 3 stars, I'm going to cast a heal right here. That way I bring my folks back up. I'm well above 3 stars. No chance. 7-4, easy peasy. Put those frosts over to the left. That way the dragon won't target him and you're good to go. Now 7-5. This is where a lot of people are getting stuck. You got Infidus, who can cast Meteor. You got 4 ogres, 2 siege, and a bunch of archers. And this is hard. This is a hard level because Infidus has an aura of flame that's going to do damage to you. None of my heroes have auras yet. You don't get auras until you got epic level heroes. So if you're having a hard time with 7-5, that's understandable. This is the first one that is extremely, extremely hard, even if you've got decent gear and everything else like that. And what you need to focus on is you need to focus on getting your Rand hero leveled up because you need that Heaven's Shield, and you also want him to get to epic level so you have the AoE heal, because that's what he has. So you saw how I made like a wall of ogres around my heroes, stacked them all in the right corner, and now as soon as he casts Meteor, I'm going to shield every time. That's the theory. I want to make sure that I've got a shield every time he's about to cast Meteor. And that's going to be on the same cooldown as my Rand's shield, basically, so you don't want to dick that up. And then you see here, I AoE all those archers down with Freydis. He casts another Meteor, I cast another shield, it blocks everything, but you see how my stuff is taking a lot of chip damage from those siege that are sitting in the back just blowing me up. So I'm going to heal right on the middle, right on all of it. And now all my stuff is also taking damages from Infidus's Aura of Flame, and here's where I messed up. I didn't have the mana ready to shield that, and it hurt. It hit my Maria and it killed her. And that's why I'm only going to 2-star on this one. I'm going to summon an ogre in the back to take out that siege as quickly as possible so it doesn't continue just sitting there and blowing me up. And then Infidus is going to Meteor on that ogre, which I got lucky with. If he'd Meteored right in the middle, I would have had to shield it. But I actually don't have time to summon anything or heal anything back up, so I only get the 2 stars. So because I only got 2 stars now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in, I'm going to try to 3-star it. And I'm going to use the same setup, which is just 5 ogres. And I'm going to go in, use my 5 ogres to tank, and what I want is I want my ogres to storm in and go straight to Infidus and start beating him up and taking that stuff out. I want my heroes to run back and start taking out the archers. So I'm basically going to do the same thing on the left side that I did last time. You're going to see me kind of noob out here for a second. Pop in all my ogres. And the reason I've got all these ogres is because those siege are doing so much damage to me that I need stuff that can take a hit. If I'm running with infantry or archers or cav, those siege are going to get blown up, or those siege are going to blow them up, and it's not going to work. So now coming in from the left side, you see how my ogre column is moving right into the middle. They're all going right at Infidus, and then they get distracted by an ogre. He meteors everything, so I shield it, get that shield up, and then I'm going to heal up here where I see heroes taking damage. That was a bad heal. That's where I messed up here, because those folks up there weren't taking that much damage. I should have healed these 2 ogres right in the middle. If I'd healed the 2 ogres right in the middle, it would have been a little better. But I'm going to cast a shield over where he meteors every time. That's the main strategy for 7-5 is to block that meteor damage. Now you see Freydis is getting blown up, and the reason Freydis is getting blown up is because Infidus has an Aura of Flame, number 1, and number 2, he hits really damn hard. So he casts a meteor over there. I'm actually going to let that meteor go, because I know it's not going to kill my ogre, and I want my ogre to keep on walking, and I used my shield right here to keep Freydis alive. That's the plan. Didn't work. You saw how she fell over dead because of that Aura of Flame, and now he's shooting Rand. So I've got this one in the bag, basically, because Infidus is nearly dead. That last siege is dead, but I'm not going to be able to 3-star it. So I use a summon ogre to try to get my HP back up a little bit, but it's just not in time. Infidus takes out Rand. I cast a heal, and I get 2 stars again. So in order to get 3 stars, I just need some auras. I need Rand to be leveled up, so I have a healing aura. That healing aura completely negates the Aura of Flame. It heals more, assuming it's the same level. And that's how you get 7-5 done, is you upgrade the specific heroes that you need. Use those heroes if you're having questions. Use those setups. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the video. Thanks, everybody.